Good morning, Virginia. This is Virginia This Morning.
This segment is sponsored by Crater Community Hospice.
So we have three important questions this morning. What is hospice? What is a medical directive? And what is Crater Community Hospice? Tammy Smith with Crater Community Hospice team joins us this morning with answers. Tammy, it's great to have you back.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk about Crater Community Hospice.
This is an important topic to cover. Let's start specifically with your description of hospice. What is it?
Well, there's a lot of misconceptions about what hospice is. Some people actually think it's a building, a place like a hospital people go when it's time to die. Technically, hospice is actually an in-home care program that is for people who've been diagnosed with a serious illness, something that is basically giving them 6 months or less to live. And hospice is actually a pain management and symptom management program where the medical director of the hospice company will actually work directly with the patient's physicians on how best to make the patient comfortable, but also working very closely with the family and the caregivers that are taking care of the patient in the home, making them comfortable and how best to take care of them through their final journey.
So we really should think of this as much for the patient as for the family.
Actually, it's pretty much equal. The care that's given by a hospice company is definitely just as much for the caregivers and the family members as it is for the patient. It's a complete package, really, and that's something we emphasize at Crater Community Hospice.
Crater Community Hospice has been around and since the mid-90s. It's the only nonprofit in the Tri-Cities area. What does that mean for the families that do end up having care?
Well, this is what sets us apart from the other hospice companies. We are local. We are your neighbors taking care of our neighbors. We are community-based, and basically the community is our boss. You are who we work for. We're not a large franchise. We're not a big national company. We're very intimate with the knowledge of what we can do for you as a Central Virginia resident and the needs and the resources that are available to you. So we feel that we are best adept at coming in and being able to address the needs of each and every patient and their family members.
And you have a very, very passionate team that works with you on this whole endeavor. What kind of services should families maybe expect? Or to be honest, they probably don't know necessarily what to expect. What kind of services does Crater Community offer?
Oh, gosh, it's a complete package. It's for people when they've been diagnosed with 6 months or less to live. They're kind of at odds. What do we do? Who do we turn to? Where do we go? And when you ask for Crater Community Hospice, we are a complete team. We first send a social worker in to talk to you, and they will talk to you about your desires and how you would like your medical care to be handled. And that's where a medical directive comes in. But then we also have highly skilled, incredibly compassionate nurses and nursing assistants and volunteers that have been trained to be able to deal directly with the family members and their needs, but also to help with pain management and symptom management for the patients in their homes. We provide everything from the hospital bed to the medications to anything that patient is going to need when they're in their home, and anything they're going to need to make them as comfortable as possible.
And support for the families as well.
Oh yes, we provide things such as alternative care, a lot of holistic treatments, if you will. Things such as Reiki, aromatherapy, massage therapy, music therapy. And these are not just for the patients to make them comfortable, but we also provide these for the family members as well. That's another thing that sets us apart from the other hospices. Because we're a nonprofit, we want to be a complete care team for the family. And you know, we have a chaplain as well that can help with bereavement and help the families guide through this spiritually in any way that they need.
We have about 30 seconds left, but I want to get back to that question of what is a medical directive. You mentioned that is something that you offer.
Well, we're incredibly lucky because one of our new board members is Nathan Kottkamp, and he is nationwide known as one of the experts in elder care law, as well as being one of the major advocates for medical directives. A medical directive is something that we offer If you can sit down with one of our social workers and you can explain how you want your medical treatment to go. Do you want a do not resuscitate? Do you want extreme medical measures to be taken when that time comes, or would you just rather pass gradually? And this really helps a patient to verbalize what their final wishes are going to be. And we want that. We're very, very adept at making sure that the patient's needs are met.
And it really helps to alleviate stress for both the patient and the families, because that's all been outlined.
When it's all written down, the families don't have to stress because all the planning has been done. They don't have to make those decisions that can be incredibly difficult at that time of their life.
3 important questions, 3 very good answers. Thank you, Tammy, for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
You can learn more about Crater Community Hospice by visiting 3916 South Crater Road in Petersburg, by calling 526-4300, or by visiting online cratercommunityhospice.org.